we try to win them all. That's what it's all about. Try and win, make you guys money while we make money in the process, betting our own picks. But, of course, the picks that we're betting, the ones we like the best, are our premium picks on a day like today where it's like I could easily pick 30 games to bet. It would be no problemo. In fact, I haven't even put up any NBA yet, and I still have a ton of picks in for today, way more than I usually do. But, you got to narrow it down. There's a lot of games that I still like out there and a lot of teams that I still hate. I mean, we've seen a lot of crap teams out there this season. We've seen a lot of really good teams. It is the end of February, early March. There are certain teams that play well at this time of year. We've seen it. Michigan State, Duke. And, we have a dropping line in a Kansas game against a Baylor team that's, looked like the best team in the nation. So all kinds of action going on today. And, of course, we've got the guys with us. Today, this show is just NBA and college basketball. We have a separate hockey show now. It's just the Puck Dogs. They will have some guests from time to time, guys who are the hockey experts. And they did their first show yesterday. Chris was the hammer on there, Rod. I didn't really watch it, but I heard good reviews from it. I had as much interest in it as I normally do in our hockey segment. But let's get it started with this college hoop schedule today. I mean, it is a monster. There are some big games in there. A lot of factors here because March Madness and all that stuff is a different animal this year. And we're already seeing senior nights. They were handing out the jerseys under glass in Illinois the other night. So, even the big schools, senior nights, senior day, all that kind of big stuff going on today. So you got to keep that in mind with these home teams. And that's why you see dropping lines and crazy lines today is because of that. But, without the home crowd, we'll see how much of a factor it is. We got Syracuse, Georgia Tech, Michigan, Indiana, Texas, Texas Tech, Auburn, Tennessee, Georgetown, DePaul, among others, with noon Eastern time starts. Brian, anything in there?
Yeah, I'm going to keep on going with the Wolverines here. I'm not wild about the road spot, but Indiana's lost 2 in a row. I think their season's over. Michigan's still fighting hard for that number 1 seed. I think they get a 10-point win today at Indiana, and then a slight lean to Georgetown at DePaul. I think a rare chance for Georgetown to get a road win. I think they take care of the Blue Demons today. Just a lean on that.
Chris?
Yeah, the two I'm looking at here, I like, I'm on the other side of that one. I like Indiana getting the 8 points against Michigan. Michigan just had that big win over Iowa. Like you said, I think this is Indiana's senior day. I'm not 100% sure, but even then, I still think it might be a letdown spot from Michigan. Indiana's just got a ton to play for. They need a big win if they're going to have a resume for the conference tournament for March Madness. So take Indiana in the points. I think it's a close game there, and I like under 136 in Texas Tech. I just think that's going to be a war. I think that's the first to 60 wins that game. So I'll take the under in that one.
Yeah, I mean, I could see angles on Indiana, but letdown spot if you have a letdown spot in February, March, you ain't going anywhere.
No,
Ron?
True, but I just think maybe Indiana wants it more. I don't know.
The old they're really mad argument. They're gonna really try this game.
I mean,
come up with something better than that, Ron.
Okay.
What do you got? They're really gonna try this game. I love that one. I hear it all the time. I mean, they're gonna be mad because they lost last time. It's like they're mad. I'm really mad they lost last time. You want to see mad?
Yeah, there's just no way I can get in the way of this Michigan team. I mean, they've been in a lot tougher spots than this against Indiana. I mean, a road win over Ohio State in a cover. They just covered easily against Iowa. They came back and took down Wisconsin on the road. This team looks like it's destined for Final Four, perhaps national championship spot. So I just can't get in the way of them.
That you lost me at national championship and Final Four, but everything, yeah, because
hater.
No, I'm not a hater. I'm a realist, and here's a program that's accomplished nothing. Okay, you look at Michigan sports. Okay, you look at this place, right? Michigan. Okay, They have huge financial backing, huge television exposure, huge budget, gigantic recruiting. They bring in Jim Harbaugh. It's like, money's no object, all this stuff. They look at the recruiting ranking national champions. Oh, they've won that one a ton of times, right? They've won a few basketball, they've won a few things in basketball, but outside of that, this is really, the Bustorama program of our generation and of my entire life. This is a program that always comes up short, that really, you hear exactly what Ron is saying today. National championship, Final Four. We hear this in football. Oh, we got Harbaugh, whatever. You guys can't even beat Ohio State at home, okay? That's number one. When you beat Ohio State at home, that's number one. And with Michigan, I need to see, it's not, and people are putting them on that pedestal with Gonzaga and Baylor, right? People are putting them on that thing. And I'm not saying that they're bad. I'm not saying they're going to lose to Indiana today. I'm not saying any of those things, okay? What I'm saying is, if you want to talk the talk, you got to walk the walk. And that game at Minnesota, it did happen. It did happen. It's like, it's the Oklahoma syndrome, right? The gloss over, right? Like the eye test, whatever. No. The eye test said you got housed at Minnesota. I mean, that's what it says. I don't see Baylor or Gonzaga going into Minnesota and getting busted up. I just don't see that happening. And it did happen. We saw it with our very own. Did it not happen all of a sudden? This is where I'm lost. And with Michigan, okay? Yeah, I agree with all those things. Do they have a chance to get to the Final Four? Yeah, of course. They have guys that are making plays. This Wagner, this guy is just one of those guys that you don't want your money on the other side, right? Because he's going to beat you. But, and Livers, right? I mean, these are guys that hit the free throw, right? When you're laying 7.5, they're up by 7. He hit the front end of a 1-1, right? This is the guy you want at the line, right? Or these guys. These are the guys, right? We know that. But Gonzaga, they've been tested. They beat Virginia like a drum, okay? They beat West Virginia. They've beaten all comers. Baylor, hey, they didn't look so good against Iowa State, but they've done their share of ass kicking this year. I don't see either of those teams going into Minnesota and getting beaten up the way Michigan was beaten up by Minnesota. I mean, they were. I mean, did it not happen? I mean, did 75-57 not happen all of a sudden? Did that not happen? I mean, it happened. It was 75-57. It wasn't like 77-76. They hit a last-second Hail Mary. No. 75-57. They busted them up. If Minnesota can bust you up, Baylor can bust you up. If Minnesota busts you up, Gonzaga can surely bust you up. And so can a lot of other teams out there. Just throwing it out there before we start, you guys know my line for Pulp Fiction.
That conference schedule, though. I mean, they play a soft schedule in their conference. Big Ten, Michigan's been playing tough
Gonzaga
teams all year.
Look at their out of conference compared to Michigan. Michigan played like Toledo. Gonzaga played West Virginia. They had Baylor on the schedule. It's not their fault the game got canceled. They played everyone out of conference. They busted them up.
I mean, Gonzaga's the team that usually gets eliminated early in the tournament.
I think they made it to the Final Four, the last one, right? I'm just saying they have beaten everyone that's been put in front of them, and Michigan hasn't done that. As a matter of fact, I don't see Gonzaga on the wrong side of a 75-57 score. I haven't seen it, and I haven't seen Baylor on the other side of a 75-57 score. It wasn't 75-65, okay? It wasn't 75. It wasn't 75-73. It wasn't 75-70. It was 75-57. I'm just throwing it out there. I'm just calling it what it is. I'm just reading the scoreboard.
So they were coming off.
Call me a hater. I'm just reading scores. I'm just saying. Before we start saying, I had them last game, and I've had them plenty this year, Michigan. But all I'm saying is before we start saying national champion, we say, wow, this kind of looks like the Oklahoma Sooners in college football, right? Anyways, Rod, go ahead.
This time slot.
Since we're talking about Michigan, I like Michigan. I'm not going to think Indiana's going to show up today. Michigan's going to keep rolling like they've been rolling, 9-1 in their last 10, 8-2 against the number. They're not going to let up. They're focused. This line hasn't been moved. It's stuck solid at 8 since it's come out. Give me Michigan. Nice double-digit win in that one. I'm going to take Texas here at Texas Tech. Texas Tech at home, I think, is 0-7 against the number. Their last 7 at home. And I'll take Texas plus the points in that one. I think that one comes down to whoever's got the ball last wins that one. And I like the Hoyas today. This DePaul team has just been awful. 2-8 at home. And the Hoyas have been rolling lately. Give me the Hoyas. They go into DePaul and get a nice win and cover in that one.
I'm all wound up. A little too much coffee.
Did you get some coffee, or is it still St. Pete's?
No, we got the coffee in.
Okay. I like Pete's coffee.
Oh, God, we got an idiot in the chat preaching the gospel, like the literal gospel. I don't understand. Do you think that you're going to get like people to convert or something from my chat? I mean, this guy's really going off.
Oh yeah, holy!
What a jerk! What a jerk face! The jerk face is here, man. It's like, hate the jerk face. All right, let me just give some picks so I can pass it off to you guys, so I can deal with the jerk face. I like Georgia Tech against Syracuse. I like Auburn against Tennessee. I think Tennessee is one of those teams that's kind of like teetering. They're the fraud, right? I mean, it's like they're the ones that go in and get busted up by the nobodies. And Auburn has been so bad. I mean, I've been trashing them on this show pretty much every time when Ruffalo's like, Cooper. And I'm always like, ever since Cooper came in, they haven't won a game, right? It's like, but I like them here. I think they take out the Vols outright here on the money line today. SEC battle. I think this Texas Tech is a good place to not bet against Texas. I could make a case either way in that one. That's for sure. Go to the next slot. Georgia, South Carolina, Miami, Clemson. What other big games we got? Notre Dame, Boston College, Illinois, Wisconsin, VCU, Davidson, Connecticut, Marquette. We'll go up to 3 o'clock.
Yeah, I'll tell you what, Georgia lost the first game against South Carolina earlier. South Carolina lost 6 straight games. Georgia's still playing for a spot in March Madness. I like Georgia laying the points here. I like Miami plus the points against Clemson. They lost by 1 at home. I think they can keep it respectable against Clemson today. And then I like Wisconsin to bust up Illinois. I know Illinois a little shorthanded here. This line screams Badgers. I think they take Illinois to the woodshed today.
Chris?
Yeah, there's a couple track meets I have on my radar right now. I like Central Michigan and Ball State to go over 152.5. I just don't see there being a ton of defense being played in that game. I can see that one hitting 160. Same thing for Weaver State and Sacramento State. I think that's just another high-scoring game. I can see that one hitting 150. I also lean towards Weaver State in that one. Just the team playing better basketball, better offense. I like Northern Illinois and Eastern Michigan to go under 135. I just don't want anything to do with either of those teams, but I can see that one being a first to 60 wins. Neither team really going to do much in that game, so give me the under in that one.
Ron?
I'm going to take Boston College and taking 7 points. No way I can lay 7 points with Notre Dame on the road, especially off 2 losses where they did not look sharp offensively. I think Boston College could keep it close, perhaps win it outright, but I'll grab the points. I also like Wisconsin. With no Ayo Dosunmu for Illinois, it's going to be real tough for this team, especially not a great road team. Wisconsin could use a win like this for their resume, so I'll take Wisconsin to lay the points. I also lean Arkansas laying the points against LSU. I mean, Arkansas, they're playing their best basketball this season, their best basketball in quite a while. Coming off a big win against Alabama, they've won 5 straight, including wins Florida, Missouri, Kentucky. They've been through the gauntlet, and LSU, they can put some points on the board, but their defense has really struggled. And against an Arkansas team that's scoring at will, 75 or more points in the last 4 games, I'll take Arkansas, lay the points at home.
Is that in this slot?
I thought it was 2 o'clock.
All right, there you go. Rod?
Yeah, in that LSU Arkansas, I think we got a track meet. I like the over 162.5 in that one. Not so much scoring, not a whole lot of defense in that one. I'm with Brian. That's too many points for Clemson. I'll take a shot with Miami plus the 13. That line hasn't even budged an inch. And I think Miami comes battling the conference battle and keeps that closer than 10 points. I also like Illinois and Wisconsin to go under the number. I think we got a huge defensive battle in that one today. Give me the under 135.5. That's all I like in that.
That Miami line's bounced off 12.5 about 6 times already. It's back to 13. It's like so many times with 76% of the money on Miami. It's bouncing back to Clemson every single. Miami's going to get slaughtered. I mean, I love my Canes. They're going to lose by 25 plus. Anyways, I like. What was I going to say? I like Washington here plus the points against Arizona. Odd time for a Pac-12 game. I like Illinois to bust up Wisconsin, another soft Big Ten team that has beaten absolutely nobody. I like UConn against Marquette. I think Marquette coming off that North Carolina win, a little bit of a letdown spot. I think Notre Dame, another team I don't like, but I think they're a pretty easy bet here against Boston College. So Gonzaga's at a conference, Brian, who says Gonzaga played nobody. They beat Kansas by 22. They beat Auburn by 30. They beat West Virginia by 5. They beat Virginia by 98-75. What's that, 23? And they beat Iowa by 11. I don't know.
I didn't say they didn't play anybody.
I don't
I
see
said
it.
their conference
I
schedule is
don't see it. I don't see.
I never said they didn't play anybody.
I don't see
said their conference schedule's weak.
75-57 at Minnesota there anywhere.
And Michigan
That's what
plays a far tougher schedule in general if you add up the.
Overall, yeah, and it's because they play in a tougher conference, right? We know that, but it doesn't mean. So like Michigan, I could excuse a loss at Illinois, even Purdue or Iowa, right? But you got busted up by Minnesota, who's basically a 500 team and is not going to the tournament, right?
Because I think it was a letdown spot. They beat Wisconsin, which
A
at that
letdown
point,
spot
Wisconsin
against
was
your
ranked.
main rival is a letdown spot all of a sudden, right? The Little Brown Jug football game is Michigan,
That's not
Minnesota,
their main,
right?
Their main rival is Ohio State or Michigan State.
Right. Well, Ohio State, but Minnesota's a major rival. This is a trophy football game team. This is not like, this is not a letdown spot.
We'll
You
see.
got beaten up.
I think Michigan would take apart Gonzaga, but we'll see.
I don't think they have any answers at all. In one of those games, they just have no answer. Anyways.
To the future, we'll see what happens. We'll see if they play each other.
Anyways, just saying. But here's the problem. Here's problem number one with this discussion, right? You're talking about Gonzaga and Michigan, right? It's like one is Gonzaga, right, and the other is Michigan. It's like Michigan should be there. They should win championships. They have everything in the world basically handed to them on a silver platter and continuously do nothing with it. Continuously. Over and over and over again. I mean, this is like the old Florida programs until finally they got Spurrier in there as head coach and started winning some championships, build up that trophy case a little bit. Right? They bring in Urban Meyer. They kind of say, this is how we're going to do it. We got to do something because we're spending a hell of a lot of money on this stuff. So, this Charlie Pell stuff, got to go. What were they? 0-11-1 under Pell? 0-10-1? It's not that might have been Doug Dickey. Who knows?
Doug Dickey.
Doug Dickey. There's a SEC coach for you. Anyway,
Lots of good games today.
Lots of good games. Oklahoma State. Wake Forest, Virginia Tech. Vandy, Ole Miss. West Virginia, Kansas State. San Diego State, Boise State, the rematch. North Carolina, Florida State. Another line dropper. Kentucky, Florida. Cal, Oregon. That's it through 4 o'clock.
Yeah, for me in that time slot, I like Oklahoma State plus the points in this huge Big 12 rivalry game. Just think Oklahoma State has enough talent to keep it within a bucket. They play up to their competition. And then K-State plus the points off 2 big wins. West Virginia has a monster game with Baylor on deck. I just think K-State can keep it within 10-11 or so. And then a strong lean to Florida State. They're just the better team than North Carolina. I'm not worried about the line movement in this one. I'm going to take a hard lean to Florida State minus the points.
By the way, Charlie Pell had the ultimate drop-off, 10-1 in 1978 with Clemson, 0-10-1 in 79 with Florida. So, nice little drop-off. For this time slot, it was tough. I like San Diego State laying the points against Boise State. Boise State, we always talk about the team losing the first meeting, bounces back, but Boise State just hasn't had much luck against the above average teams on their schedule this season. I think San Diego State wins this one by at least 7 or 8. I like Florida getting the 2 points on the road against Kentucky. I'm not on Kentucky the rest of the way. And I know it's late February, early March when these teams start to turn it on, but Kentucky's just having a down year, and I'll be on Florida on money line as well. Excuse me. I like the under 136.5 in Temple UCF. Just 2 low-scoring teams. I can see that being the first to 60. And I'm going to go the opposite of that with Belmont Moorhead State. I like the over 138.5. I can see that one, seeing each team get into the 70s in that one. So I think we get over the number with ease there.
Ron.
Yeah, I'm going to take Oklahoma State as well, getting the 5 points. I just think Oklahoma's a tad overvalued in this spot. 2 rivals, and it should be a great game on ABC national television. I just think I think the points are definitely going to be in play either way. I could see either team winning it. I also like UCF laying the 5.5 against Temple. I think the Golden Knights have a pretty special player in Isaiah Adams. He had 26 points. He was 10 of 11 from the field against Tulane. He's a freshman, has a great story, and I think he's going to be a big player for UCF for years to come. But now they have 3 scoring options with Mahan and Perry, and now you got Adams on the bench. I think UCF wins this one pretty easily. And I also like San Diego State as well, basically for the reasons Chris said. Boise State, they've had a decent year, but they do struggle in these kinds of spots. And, San Diego State, they've quietly put together a really solid year, ranked 22nd, 18-4 overall. They've just been under the radar, and I think they're going to grab a win and a cover at home here.
Rod? Can't hear you. I'm going to go with...
I bet.
Oh, go.
My furnace kicked on, and I didn't want to... It sounded like a freight train, so I muted it. So I'm going to go the other way. I'm going to take Boise State plus the points in this spot. I know we haven't seen them show up in these spots, but I think this is a spot they do. They're 6-4 in their last 10, 5-5 against the number. San Diego State's only 7-6 against the number at home. This looks like a spot here. I like Boise State show up. I don't know if they win that outright, but I think this game is a lot closer than the 6. So give me Boise plus the 6 in that one. I also like Vandy at home. Give me Vandy playing Ole Miss. I think that one's closer than the 8 points. Vandy's 5 5-2 ATS their last 10, 3 pushes. But at home, I think they play a good game. Tough place to play. So give me Vandy plus the points in that one. And I'm going to take Kentucky. They've won, 3 in a row? Let's make it 4. This that time of year that they keep rolling. So give me Kentucky minus the points. I think they roll over Florida today. They make it 4 wins in a row.
I like Florida in that one. I liked it better at 2.5. I think they at least cover. I think it's going to be tight, that game. Always better to have the points in your back pocket. I think even at 2, it could factor. I like Oregon to smash Cal. Cal's they got one guy that can play, and that is it. You figure out a way to bottle up Bradley. That is over. And I think Oregon kind of due for one of those games. One of those kind of downhill, where they're just running downhill. We haven't seen it from the Ducks too much lately. It's been mostly tight games. Today might be the day. We've seen other teams get it open open up the can against Cal. I think if Stanford can open up the can against Cal at Cal, I think Oregon can too. Let's see. What's the other one I was looking at? The slot. I like UCF with you guys. I'm with you there. I think Virginia Tech locks it down against Wake. These are all teams looking for seeds and positioning and, home games, last home games, and all that kind of stuff. So I think that's a spot. And I like Kansas State here plus the points against West Virginia. Just too many points. Kansas State's playing pretty well recently. Move to 5 o'clock. How did we do on our premium show yesterday? I think we did pretty good, right? We all hit early? No?
I went 1-1.
I was 2-0. Chris?
Yeah, I went 1-1.
Rod?
I think I went 1-1.
All right. So, 1 game over 500. I guess that
Atlanta Hawks let me down yesterday.
They let us all down, Brian. They were pathetic. They let us all down. Whether we gave it out on the show or not, they let a few other people down also. Yeah.
Can I do the 4:30? I didn't know we went past.
Yeah,
I
go
missed
ahead.
that Kent State.
Go ahead.
I like the Kent State Golden Flashers today to rebound off that Ball State loss. I just think Kent State's the better team than Miami, Ohio, which is playing all right, improved basketball in the MAC, but lay that points with Kent State there.
Yeah, if you haven't tried out our YouTube Premium, it is a deal and a half. It is such a good deal. I can't wait till we stop doing it. It's $30 for a month for just the early show, or if you want the early and the late show, it's $50. Like I said, it's such a good deal. I can't wait till we stop doing it. I think it. Oh, I can get into a whole thing about it. I don't want to cheapen our brand. I don't think we need to. But I think it's nice that we offer something for the $5 better. That the $5 better can say, this cost me 25 cents a pick. The parlay better or whatever, And you don't have to play every pick, but it's like you get how many picks a month? 120 plus you get a bonus on Saturdays and Sundays, 2 extra each of those days. So 128 picks a month for $30 or for $50. Is that what it is? No, it's more than that. It's more than that. It's 124 picks. 128 picks for $30, and then it's 256 picks. 256 picks for $50, which is, like I said, it's such a good deal. I can't wait till we stop doing it. Anyways. Yeah, crazy, right? Brian, what are you selling today for your real premium picks?
Yeah. Winning days 6 of the last 7 days. This is the time of year always heat up. Another winning day yesterday. I got my Big 12 Game of the Month 5-pack. You get 4 college basketball, 1 NBA for $50. PickDogs.com premium picks. I'm looking for a sweep today. We'll see what happens.
Chris?
Well, the stars were aligned yesterday for a winning day. I mean, I tell you that Nevada game at the end of the day was crazy. But today we got Slam and Sunday. I got a 3-pack for early time slot, middle of the day, and the evening games, or have it all as part of a 9-pack for $50. Or got 3-pack for NHL, or hop on one of those longer term passes. You can get it all, and as well get the stuff for the rest of the weekend as well.
Ron?
I got a 7-pack today with a 5 college basketball, and then my top play in the NHL and the NBA.
Rod?
And for me, I've got a college basketball 5-pack up there. On a nice college basketball run, 16-8 in the last 24 plays. Jump over to Pick Dogs Premium, grab that. I have a NBA 3-pack as well. You got a 5-pack and a 3-pack over there at the Premium.
I have 11 picks today. I couldn't narrow it down. I know. Well, every Saturday I sit here and I hold up my card, right? And I look at my card and I say, I left this one and this one and this one and this one on the table. And this is like after narrowing it down. It's where I get there. It's like, I have all these cards here. And I look at them and I'm like, oh my God, I left that winner out there. I left the winner out there. It's like, this week, not going to happen. So
You're like, I could go the opposite. The ones you wanted to leave off will lose and the winners win.
Oh no. I didn't bet your picks, Brian. I got good ones.
Yeah, I think me and you were opposed today. Our stars aligned the other day, and we were in sync. And I think today we're probably head to head. We'll see.
We're probably not on a lot of the same games, is what I'm guessing. I don't know if we're opposed, but I'm gonna guess we have a couple opposed, but I'm gonna guess we're probably not on the same games. It's a big card.
Yes, it is.
It's a big card. I have mostly the big games. I have some of the smaller games, but mostly the big games. So, anyways.
I have lots of Big 12 action for me today.
Let's see. I think I might have one Big 12. Yeah, one. One Big 12. Anyways.
Got to focus back in.
Creighton Xavier. Here's some Xaviers out there. When we get to Rod, if he talks about that. It's Xavier. Mississippi State, Alabama. Duke against Louisville. Iowa State, TCU. Stanford, Oregon State. Bradley Drake rematch. And we'll go through 7 o'clock. Minnesota, Nebraska. That's it. Up to 7 o'clock.
Yeah, I think Xavier had a rough return from COVID, but I think they start putting together. I know it's a little bit late, but I like the talent on the Xavier Musketeers, and that's a nice amount of points there. I think they can get the cover, maybe outright win. I like Alabama laying the points at Mississippi State. I think Alabama starts to turn it back on again after a little lull. The line looks like a Alabama cover. And then I'll close it out with Minnesota. I just think I know they played terrible, like hot diggity dog crap, but this is Nebraska. I think Minnesota can turn around and get a road win here. Cover.
They did beat the crap out of Michigan. Chris?
Oh, my God, they lost the game. Michigan lost.
Yeah, well, I'll tell you who hasn't. A couple other teams that no one is saying, oh my God, they're national champions in the Final Four, right? Gotta let it play out. I have a pick for my national champion already. It's not one of the teams you mentioned.
Who's that?
UConn.
You still think they get there, even if Book Knight's elbow is messed up?
He's playing, Chris. Did you see it?
Well, I don't know.
You know how we knew he was playing? Because there was a guy's head who was 3 feet over the rim the other night.
Fair enough. Okay, fair enough.
There's a guy I don't know how tall is this guy, but his head is like completely over the top of the rim.
I keep flashing back to him like having to play with the one arm because his elbow's all banged up.
That was one game. Then the next game in the second half, he was money.
He was fine. Okay. I just think with one of those injuries, it's always one bad hit away from re-aggravating it. So.
Well, this is a team that UConn, I can't even tell you how much money I've made on them in the last 20 years in the NCAA tournament.
Okay, fair point.
And the thing is, they do it as a dog, in the NCAA tournament, in the Big East tournament. I mean, we've seen them. This is a team that not afraid historically to go to go all in. You know, not afraid to have their players leave it all out on the court.
Were they not like the ultimate underdog? I'm trying to remember. Was it the Kemba Walker year where nobody expected him to do anything?
I won the bracket contest that year.
I had him on the futures UConn that year.
I
think we need a Pick Dogs bracket contest here.
I'm actually not that great of a bracket picker. I've won it twice, but I'm generally not a good bracket picker because I generally will lean in the NCAA tournament to taking a lot of dogs because of the points. So I'm not good at taking favorites on the money line. It's just not in my makeup, so it's like I struggle with brackets. I know Brian likes money line favorites.
Well, it could be just for fun, but I still use it against you.
It's the same thing as like betting Gonzaga minus 45,000. To me, you put him on that next line. It's like basically he took Gonzaga minus 45,000. It's principle. I can't do it.
So there's a contest you could run for the whole Facebook group.
Sounds fun.
You're right on that, buddy.
Yeah,
that sounds like you're right on that. We're glad to hear you're all over that one. Good job, buddy.
That's something that you would need automated.
Yeah.
And the next on Brian's long list of ideas that he wish he didn't.
No, it's actually that's something.
A good idea.
That's something that's easy to find a software that does
ESPN does it. Yeah.
There's a bunch of them out there that do it. There's a bunch.
Anyway, I enjoy doing the bracket.
Yeah.
I haven't done a bracket in a long time, so
1,000 of them daily.
We'll do a bracket show.
Anyways, for this time slot, I like Xavier getting the 5 points as well. I just think either way the points are going to be in play there. I see that being a 3-point game at most, whichever way you slice it. So Xavier and the points there. I like Toledo giving up 16.5 at home against Western Michigan. I know it's a big number. I know Toledo a public cover team, but this Western Michigan team, when they're on the road against the better teams, they just fold like a lawn chair. So I'll take Toledo there. And so we're going up to 7, correct?
Yes.
Okay. I like Oregon State getting the 7 at Stanford. Again, a game that I just think is maybe a 4-point game. I think that you see Oregon State sort of just step it up in these last few games. Play for a little bit of pride at this point, but because I think they know their stay in the Pac-12 tournament's going to be short. So, Oregon State in a tight one against Stanford.
In this window, I'm going to take George Mason laying 7 points against LaSalle. Two teams definitely having disappointed seasons, but I just think George Mason's the more complete team. They play solid defense. I think they get the win at home. I also like Austin Peay getting the 3.5 points now, open at 4. I just think this is a coin flip kind of game, and if you're getting 3.5 points, that's where your value lies. So I think Austin Peay has just as much a chance to win this game as Jacksonville State does. I also like Charlotte getting the 5 points against UTEP. I was a bit surprised to see the line that steep for UTEP in UTEP's favor. I'm not really sure that I would lay that many points with UTEP, and that's why I like Charlotte. They play really good defense. Sure, they've had some clunker performances like against UAB and Middle Tennessee, but I do think they can keep this game close and maybe win it. So I'll take the 5 points with Charlotte.
Rod?
The only two I like the Beavers in this spot. Just like Chris said, I think that's too many points. Give me the Beavers playing good hoops. 7-2 against the number of our last 10 games. Definitely been cover machines our last 10. Give me the Beavers plus the points. And I like Missouri State minus the points over Evansville again. They're 7-3, 6-3 ATS their last 10. Give me Missouri State. Give me the Bears over Evansville.
No, we don't do. We have some questions about NHL. No, we do not do NHL on this show. Chris and Rod have an NHL show. I guess there's a game that starts at noon. Is there?
There is. Yeah.
You have a pick?
One crazy.
Do you have a free pick on it or not? I know we have them at the site. You guys have a free pick? Anyone? We'll get back to it.
Some at 1 Eastern.
Oh, all right.
That's why we tried to do the live show at 12:30 so we can try to squeak them in.
So we can squeak them in.
Squeak them in.
Squeak it. I like
Get them in with half hour to go. We'll probably get those ones in there for you. So
I like Drake against Bradley in this time slot. I like the Beavers, Oregon State. I like a lot of games in this one. I got a bunch of premiums in this time slot. So you can check them out in my premium picks. Got, let's see, 8 o'clock, Baylor, Kansas, Utah, USC, Arizona State, Washington State, Hawaii, Long Beach State. What up, beaches? Colorado, UCLA, Gonzaga, Loyola, Marymount. Brian, anything?
Yeah, I'm going to take my sharp play here. I'm going to take the Utah Utes plus the points. This line's been dropping. I know USC's the better point, but they're coming off of a spanking against Colorado. I think they go to Utah. Never an easy place to play, no matter how good or bad Utah is. And then I'm going to take Loyola Marymount plus the points against Gonzaga. I've been fading Gonzaga. It worked with Santa Clara. I think it'll work again with Loyola Marymount.
Chris?
Yeah, I'm on USC in that one. I just think that they'll want to bounce back from that spanking against Colorado. I think on a quick turnaround might be the best way to do it, not let it settle in. So I think that's certainly won that one. I like Rhode Island against Duquesne, getting the points. I just think that Rhode Island's a better team. I think it's just good keeping it simple at that in that game. And I like Missouri State again against Evansville. We had it yesterday as one of our better games we liked, and I think I'm going to like them again today. I think Evansville's just going to struggle in this matchup. Missouri State's the kryptonite the way they play for Evansville. So take Missouri State laying the points in that one.
Ron?
The only one I really like in this spot is Loyola Marymount getting the points against Gonzaga. Gonzaga's going to win this game, that's for sure. But Loyola Marymount's a decent team in the West Coast Conference. They put together a decent season, a lot of improvements from last year, and they play solid defense. They got Eli Scott; he's a good scorer. He's really going to give Kispert some troubles, I think, tonight. But I'll take Marymount in the 25 points. Too many points for me.
Rod?
For me, I'm going to take Gonzaga and lay the 25 points. I think they beat them by 30. That's what I like in that one. And I'm also going to take Kansas. Give me Kansas to hand Baylor its first loss. Give me Kansas. They give me the Jayhawks at home here on the money line as they upset Baylor, hand them their first loss.
I like Loyola Marymount. I'm with you guys on that one, plus the points. Been one of my teams this year. I think that USC game with Utah that Brian's talking about, one of the toughest games on the board. Like you said, Utah generally tough at home, but USC is the best team following a loss. They're not good. They are the absolute flat-out best team following a loss. They don't normally just win. They normally bust them up bust up whoever's next on the schedule. We saw it in that after that Arizona game, right? They came back the next game. We just saw it. They don't lose a ton, but when they do, that next game back, woo! That Oregon game, 72-58. It was 22-0 out of the gate on that one. Good Oregon team. Like I said, they don't lose much. It's just that Utah team is just not a good Utah team. Generally, like Brian said, Utah's money at home. I like Washington State against Arizona State. I don't bet on teams that don't play defense, regardless of the sport. And that's about it for me for that slot. We'll go to the NBA. Got 7 games? 9 games? Got 1, 2,
Yeah,
3,
7.
4, 5, 6, 7 games in the NBA today. No line movement at all in any of them.
Yeah.
So they all opened at a number and have stayed
Yep.
right on the number. We got the Timberwolves and the Wizards. It's like if they wanted to put a line out to scare you the hell off this game, they've done that for me. Sixers, Cavs, Jazz looking to bounce back against the Magic, and the Knickerbockers up against the Pacers. Brian?
Yeah, I'm going to take a shot with the Minnesota Timberwolves plus the 4.5. We've seen the Wizards off a really good, strong road trip. They're 7-3 in the last 10, but this number just looks a little bit odd to me. I think the Wolves can sneak out a cover. Even though they haven't covered, I think, 6 in a row. I think 0-6 against the spread. And I'm going to go with the Pelicans off that heartbreaking loss to Milwaukee. I think we're going to see the Pelicans play much better basketball down the stretch. So give me New Orleans laying the points.
Chris?
Sorry. I'm leaning towards the New York Knicks here. Just Indiana on a back-to-back to begin with after that frustrating loss to Boston. And then now having to deal with one of the better defensive teams in the NBA. I'll take New York at a pick'em spot. And I like the Orlando Magic getting the 10.5 against the Jazz. I think the Jazz win this game, but I think 10.5 is just a touch too many. I can see that being an 8 or a 9 point win. I think Orlando battles here, so I'll take a shot with the Magic and the points.
Yeah, I'm going to take a small lean on the Knicks as well. Surprising season so far for the Knicks, 16 and 17 overall, and they're over 500 at home this season. They've already beaten this Pacers team this season, and that was a road win. Like Chris said, Pacers coming off the back-to-back at the second game. They were just in Boston, took the loss last night to a struggling Celtics team. Now, I'll take the Knicks on the money line. I think they can win this game.
Rod?
For me, I like the Timberwolves as well. I don't know about that number. I think the Wiz, their first game back at home off that road trip. Off a nice road trip. Give me the Wiz, or give me the Timberwolves plus the points in that one. I think it's a 2-point game. I also like. I'm gonna go with the Spurs. We've been fading the Pelicans. We're just gonna keep fading the Pelicans. Give me the Spurs at home here. And I like the Pacers and the Knicks to go under the number. You know how the Knicks play defense. Pacers back-to-back. I think that goes under the number. Give me the under 219 in that one. And I like the Magic. I think that's too many points as well. Give me. You guys win the game. Magic keep it within 3-4 points. And I like the under in the Mavericks and the Nets. Give me the under 236.5. These teams come and play some defense today.
I get these emails all the time. It's like when we put college basketball. So like this person's saying it's not Rhode Island College. No, we're not saying it's Rhode Island College. We're saying it's Rhode Island College basketball. It's like, freaking hard is this?
Nitpicking.
No, I get an email like this once a week. Ridiculous. This is what I do with my day. This is why I am like I am. All right. I like the Knicks here too. I just like the defense, and I think on against a Pacers team that I don't know, they don't have the depth that they've had in the past. I like the Magic here against the Jazz as well. I think a lot of people are going to be on the Jazz after last night. They're going to be mad. They're going to bounce back. Kind of like what I said yesterday. It's hot and sticky in Florida, man. I'm from there. I know exactly what it's like, and I don't care if it's not hot and sticky inside the stadium. It actually is a little warmer inside those stadiums than it is in the stadiums in the north, and it's just a different environment. And it's like you're in that hot weather all day. You get dehydrated all of those things happen to you, it is a different world. It's like, most of you guys are, I see snowstorms all over the place and all this other stuff, and we're frozen, and Texas is freezing, whatever. And, I'm complaining because I shot, a lousy round of golf. And, it's like, it's just, it's a different world. And it is tough to adjust to. And I think back-to-back days there are just not going to help the Jazz either. I think this is more of our Utah Jazz 4-point game, right? Utah wins by 4.5, not by 10.5.
Yeah.
So,
86 degrees in Orlando.
Yep.
Oh.
Inside.
50% humidity.
It's like that's almost 100 degrees difference. That's crazy.
I think you die down there, Rod.
It's not
fun.
It's not the heat, it's the stupidity.
Yeah.
Well, you just can't make sure you got lots of water and you'll be good.
Rod would be a puddle when he gets up.
I'd be down there going, I am a sweat machine.
Rod's our health
machine.
advisor, preaching hydration.
I can't get the water in fast enough.
Funny enough, stupidity follows me wherever I go. I don't know if that's a coincidence or not, but
We've got the Spurs and the Pelicans, the Thunder and the Nuggets, and the Nets and the Mavericks. That should be, what's the total in that thing? 235.5, dropping 3 points. I don't know. Neither of those teams play a lick of defense. Brian?
Yeah, I'm not too wild about that. If I was going to pull a roof load, it'd probably be here. But I'm going to go with the Brooklyn Nets and lay the points they've been covering. And, I'm not too high on Dallas. So I'll take a little $60 action to keep me interested in this one. I'll take the Nets.
I'm starting to wonder if that taking a roof low thing is ever going to die, but I guess not. I'm gonna lean towards the Pelicans as well, just until we can confirm the status of the 6 guys that are questionable on the injury report with illness, and DeMar DeRozan still for personal reasons. So I'll lean towards the Pelicans now, and then until the injury report clears up. And I'm still gonna take the over in that Dallas Brooklyn. I know it's going down 3 points. Maybe that's just less wood for us to chop to get over that number. I like the over in that one.
Ron?
Yeah, take a small lean on the Nets. Porzingis is questionable for Dallas here. And the Nets are rolling. They're just playing their best basketball this season, basketball that we expected, and that's without Kevin Durant. So I see another win for Brooklyn here.
Rod?
For me, Magic and Nets, I'm still I'm gonna stick with the under 236. I know everybody. I'm going to be contrarian. Everybody and his dog's on the over, so I'm going to go on the under. That'll be my $60.
Well, it's dropped 3 points, so I wouldn't say everyone and his dog is on it. I mean, it's dropped from 238.5 to 235.
83% of the bets, 59% of the money, all on the over.
Yeah, but I'm just saying it's dropped 3 points, so not everybody could possibly be on it. It's impossible.
No, not everybody.
It's impossible. Every single bet is on the over. I love that. I love that when people say.
I love unders, though.
I love it in the Facebook group. I was the only one on the Nuggets. It's like, yes, you were the only one. 9,800 bets on the other side. One bet on the Nuggets.
One hero,
$4 parlay. Smoking. Money.
With your minus 1,100 fee.
Hashtag money.
I'm not gonna make fun of any of the other guys that don't have bad luck today. I was gonna say the hot diggity guy, but I'm gonna keep my mouth shut. I won't be cursed today.
I'm gonna go with the Spurs against the Pelicans. I love betting against the Pelicans. I just love it. It's just I can't control myself.
Pelicans have been covering though. They covered against the Bucks.
I know. I'm only 18-14 in my Pelicans bets, but I'm okay. I actually had them. I've had them a couple times that they've won. I like the Nets against the Mavericks and the over. I'll square it out. I don't care. All right, Brian, what's the squarest play on the whole board today? College basketball. And,
Boy, I'll tell you
like-
what. Let me look.
like, not like, Gonzaga minus 4,500, but I'm talking about like, of the
I'd probably
games.
say
Like,
I'd probably say TCU.
is the squarest play on the board, but the line has moved 1.5 now in that game. So
Maybe not. Maybe that's me being exaggerated. But as a quick glance, I think TCU is the squarest play on the board.
all right. Chris, you got a parlay for us? I think it's
I
Wisconsin.
do.
I think it's Wisconsin. That's me.
No, it's not.
Okay. It's
For
not.
my
Okay.
for my parlay, we're gonna go Oregon State, Missouri State, and Xavier.
State.
3-team college hoops.
Rod?
For me, we're going to go Texas plus the points. Missouri State minus the points. And we're going to add in, give me Vandy plus the points.
Vandy. We didn't even mention them during this show. Ron?
Yeah, you did.
I'm
No, you did.
gonna take
Oh, I
Loyola
wasn't
Marymount plus the points.
The Mount.
Yep, the Mount. The Golden Knights of UCF laying the points, and the Wisconsin Badgers laying the points.
Brian.
Oh, it's my turn. I'm going to take Loyola Marymount plus the points. I'm going to take Kansas State plus the points and the Utah Utes plus the points. I like that parlay.
I'm going to go Oregon, Illinois, and give me another big name here. Notre Dame. Oregon, Illinois, Notre Dame. There you have it. It's my parlay for today. Thanks, everyone, for joining us. Of course, be sure to check out our premium pick show. All 5 of us will be on there today. Bargain. $30 a month for the early show. $50, you get 2 shows. 256 picks a month for $50. That's a good business move on our part. If I'm doing the show in the dark, you're going to know why. Anyways, thanks, everyone, for joining us. We'll try not